Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Wednesday, the 18th of December 2024. I'm Michael Thompson. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. So let's get going with story number 1. The Federal Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, today handed down the Mid-Year Economic and Fiscal Outlook, MYEFO. It's called, and it shows a smaller deficit this financial year, but then a jump over the next 3. The combined deficit over the next 4 years comes in at $144 billion. In terms of the economy and the various insights contained within MYEFO, the government has downgraded its growth forecast this financial year to 1.75% and then 2.25% in 2025-26. It is forecasting ongoing easing of inflation and wage increases with a steady pickup in the unemployment rate to 4.5% by the middle of next year. Dr. Chalmers said the economy is on track for a soft landing. On to story number 2 now. The local share market ended pretty flat today with the S&P ASX 200 closing down 4.6 points or just 0.06% to 8,309 points. I'd call that reasonably flat. Best performer on the bourse was buy now, pay later operator Zipco, up more than 7%. There was a bit of corporate activity going on. Vulcan Energy signed a $1.4 billion loan commitment with Export Finance Australia and a group of 7 commercial banks for the financing of its Lionheart project in Germany, which is undeniably a very cool name for a project. Mineral Resources has completed the sale of 2 exploration permits to Hancock Prospecting for $780 million. And Insignia told shareholders today that it was rejecting private equity giant Bain Capital's $4 per share bid because it, quote, does not adequately represent fair value for them. Its share price ended down more than 4% today, one of the worst performers on the bourse. On to story number 3 now. Foreign Minister Penny Wong has been accused of abandoning Israel in the wake of the October 7 Hamas terror attack during a heated phone call with her Israeli counterpart. The Financial Review reports Senator Wong had a, quote, heated verbal argument over the phone with Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Saar, who apparently said that Australia had weakened its support for Israel, quote, in its most difficult year when it has fought against its bitterest enemies. The report hasn't been confirmed by Penny Wong, and nor is it likely to be, as most of these types of diplomatic conversations are kept very much under wraps and rarely ever confirmed. Tensions have been growing between Israel and Australia after Australia voted on a series of United Nations General Assembly resolutions about peace in the Middle East, and Senator Wong also called for an international declaration of a Palestinian state. Story number 4, one from the courts. High-profile broadcaster Alan Jones is facing 8 new indecent assault charges relating to a 10th alleged victim. The 83-year-old faced a court in Sydney yesterday for the first time over the allegations. He was already facing 26 charges relating to offences allegedly committed between June 2001 and December 2019, according to the Sydney Morning Herald. Jones was arrested at his apartment in Circular Quay on November 18. He has now been charged with 11 counts of aggravated indecent assault, 19 counts of assault with an act of indecency, 2 counts of sexually touching another person without consent, and 2 counts of common assault. Yesterday, outside court, he was sworn at and heckled by a crowd surrounding the media. Jones said he will plead not guilty to the charges and welcomed the opportunity to clear his name. Finally, story number 5, 4 Brazilian municipalities joined in litigation pursuing BHP for £18 billion in the British courts have quit the high-profile class action. This relates to the Samarco dam disaster back in 2015 that killed 19 people, destroyed towns and infrastructure in Brazil. The exit of the municipalities comes less than 8 weeks after BHP and its Samarco partners struck an alternative deal valued at $31.7 billion or about 50 billion Aussie. That was a compensation deal that was struck with the Brazilian government, according to a report in the Financial Review. Citizens, municipalities, and businesses who were affected by the disaster now essentially have to choose whether to sign up for the compensation deal struck between the Brazilian government, BHP, and its Samarco partner Vale, or take their chances on possible compensation through the British class action. That's it for the afternoon report for Wednesday, the 18th of December 2024. Make sure you hit follow on the podcast, and we'll be back tomorrow morning with the Thursday edition of Fear and Greed. I'm Michael Thompson. Enjoy your evening.